Right, good morning everyone. Okay, so last class we are discussing about based on normality, right? So costs are classified into based on normality. Costs are classified into normal cost and abnormal cost. And it is like some five types. You can say five types: normal cost, abnormal cost, right? So normal cost means costs which are incurred in our normal course of business or expenses which are incurred in our day-to-day operations of a business, right? Okay, all these expenses comes under normal expenses or normal cost. Okay, so name some normal expenses. Name some normal expenses. Sir, material cost, wages, overheads. Okay, see, any no overheads you can say like selling and distribution overhead or salaries paid to staff or clerk, some water bill, some electricity, maintenance, everything comes under normal expenses. Abnormal expenses, correct? So expenses incurred because of some abnormal situation. So if you are incurring expense, see, fire accident in a stores department, it is not going to happen every week, right? Right? So if you are incurring any expenses uh, to claim insurance, because of fire accident. So such an expenses comes once in a while, right? So those expenses are known as abnormal expenses. Abnormal expenses. Okay, fine. After that, based on controllability. Based on controllability, costs are classified into controllable and uncontrollable. Controllable cost and uncontrollable cost. Now tell me how you are going to define this controllable cost. Hmm. Costs which can be controlled by the respective departmental heads. Why I'm mentioning the name departmental heads? Because he is the one who have the decision of controlling an expense, right? Who is going to make a decision, right? So if something is in our hands, we can make a decision. If it is beyond our hands, we cannot make a decision, right? Right? Okay. See, yesterday when I'm explaining about that abnormal item, I told you if the increase in price is because of negligence of employee, is it controllable or uncontrollable? Controllable, because he is our employee. It's because of his negligence we are incurring 2 lakhs additional expense. He has to place it. See, in our intro level, we know material chapter, right? There you have levels of stock, right? Levels of stock. Maximum level. I want some moment. Maximum level, minimum level, reorder level, right? So you started using your stock slowly. Maximum, minimum, reorder level. Okay. What is that maximum level? Maximum level means I want to participate about writing. Answer something. See, in a stores department, there may be different types of material. Let us assume we have some 5 types of material. For each and every type of material, again you will have different levels of stock. For type A, you will have its own maximum, minimum, reorder level, average level, right? Safety stock, everything. Now going to type B, again you will have all the levels of stock. Again for C, all the levels of stock. In that we are discussing about a particular item called material A. Now for material A, maximum level, I mean to say maximum level, 10,000 kgs. What do you mean by 10,000 kgs? Sir, how you are going to explain the 10,000 kgs? Didn't get you. Not asking formula. Did I ask you formula? Maximum level equal to, I'm sure no one is going to answer my answer maximum level equal to formula. I'm asking you what is maximum level. Source department should not maintain more than 10,000 kgs. It is the level of stock at which stock should not maintain more than that 10,000 kgs. It should not exceed 10,000 kgs. So they have determined their policy like we should maintain below 10,000 kgs only. 10,000 or less than 10,000 kgs, it should not exceed more than 10,000. In the same way, they may have like minimum level as some 2,000 kgs. Safety stock or minimum level as 2,000 kgs. The stock should not fall beyond 2,000 kgs. Is it clear? Now in between, I think this is the one is important for even for the beginning of your costing also. Reorder level. What is this reorder level? You are unable to answer what do you mean by reorder level. No one is going to ask you formulas of maximum level, minimum level, second formula of average level. At least you should be in a position to answer reorder level. After qualifying CMA final, you should know some terms like material requisition, purchase requisition, PO means purchase order, right? Material return note, right? Try to understand the language. Reorder level. Please answer. Simply to say, when the stock touches the reorder level, it is an indication for the stores department to raise a purchase requisition. It is the level of stock at which a fresh order has to be placed every time. Try to read these definitions twice and thrice. Try to say the exact line. You might know the answer. You may know the answer, but still you have to answer in an exact manner, saying that it is the level of stock at which a fresh order has to be placed every time. Say for suppose, just like she taking an example of 5,000 kgs. Now our material is 10,000 kgs. You started using from 10,000 kgs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. And the stock touches 5,000 kgs, immediately you have to raise a purchase requisition. Again, after replacing the stock, your stock goes to the above, right? Okay. So, reorder level. Now, the stock touches reorder level, but our employee failed to place a purchase requisition. So, stock, our employee forgot to place an order with the supplier. So, what happened? Instead of getting the stock within 3 days, we received the stock after 5 days. What will happen? Production will get interrupted because I am going to maintain the stock. Looking at my levels of stock in the stores department, I am going to raise a purchase requisition. So when the stock is about to complete, I didn't receive my stock. So my production will get interrupted. So what I am going to do, I should get the stock at any cost. So I will try to purchase the same material in black market. Giving some 2 rupees per unit additionally, I am purchasing 1 lakh kgs. So 1 lakh into 2 lakh rupees is the additional cost incurred only because of negligence of employee. Now this 2 rupees increase. 1 lakh kgs is your lot size. 2 rupees is the additional cost, not the material cost. Material cost is 10 rupees original. You purchased in black market at 12 rupees. So difference 2 rupees is the additional expense incurred because of negligence. Is it clear? Now this 2 lakh rupees is incurred because of negligence of OE. Now tell me, is it controllable or uncontrollable? You control, sir. He is our employee, right? Controllable cost. Now, in the same example, the stock touches the reorder level. Immediately, our stores department people they placed a fresh order, but because of inflation in the market, now the price is 12 rupees. You have an increase of 2 rupees on each kg or on each unit of raw material. So 1 lakh kgs into 2, again 2 lakh rupees. Now, you are blaming the employee stating that it's because of you only we have an increase of 2 rupees. I'm going to issue a show cause notice, and after that I'm going to deduct from your salary. I'm going to recover from your salary for the additional expense. Is it correct? So if something happens in the market, it's because of inflation in the market. If there is an increase, in material cost, not responsible, right? Right? Is it controllable? Something happens in the market, something changes in the market, so it is beyond our hands, right? Clear? So the same 2 lakh rupees increase if it is because of inflation in the market, in such a case, in both the case you can see 2 lakh rupees increase, but the reason is in one case it is negligence of employee, it can be controlled. In the other case it is because of inflation in the market, uncontrollable cost. Uncontrollable cost. Is it clear? Can I proceed? So based on controllability, costs are classified into controllable cost and uncontrollable cost. Right? Can I proceed, sir? Next, want everyone to write along with the discussion. Based on attributability, costs are classified into two categories. Product cost, period cost. Product cost and period cost. Product cost and period cost. Now tell me, what is product cost? What are product cost? You are going to say traceable means it comes under direct cost. See, expenses which are directly attributable to manufacturing of a product. Which are directly attributable to manufacturing of a product. Attributable means relatable. Attributable to manufacturing of a product. Or product cost. Period cost means which are attributable to a particular period, to a particular period, which are attributable to a particular period. So which are attributable to manufacturing of a product, which are attributable to a particular period. Now, direct cost, factory cost, now this product cost, everything seems to be same. The difference is, I can say, you'll have trading account, right? In trading account, you will have all expenses related to manufacturing, all expenses related to manufacturing. So, for our understanding, you can say product cost as, you can consider all expenses incurred up to the point of manufacturing, are known as product cost. So what are the items you are going to have in trading account? You have to answer. No student should answer purchases. You might have purchases. You have to say consumed. See, what is the purpose of having those 4 lines in our cost sheet? Opening, purchases, closing stock, consumed. Our intention is to calculate consumed. Am I correct or not? In that purchases, you may have some closing stock which are not using for the production. In cost sheet, we are going to capture only the expenses incurred for production quantity, only for manufacturing quantity. So, as I have opening stock, newly purchased, subtracting closing stock, only remaining quantity consumed for production. That is the reason I'm using purchases in my cost sheet pro forma. That doesn't mean I'm taking entire purchase quantity. Is it clear? In trading account, simply you have to say, I know you might have 2 opening stock, 2 purchases. I'm not expecting to say each and every item. I want to say the raw material consumption cost, wages, or freight or carriage inwards, or some overheads. These are the items you are going to have in trading account, right? Right? All manufacturing related expenses. Once after completion of trading account, then you will have profit and loss account, right? And profit and loss account for the period. So, what are the expenses we are posting in P&L account are period cost. Like you might post something like rent or some salaries. Clear? Now, here each and every expense, whatever you are posting in P&L account, all expenses are related to a particular month or year or 6 months, right? So, expenses what you are posting in P&L account are period cost. Expenses in P&L account are period cost. And by the way, I think everyone know this point. Fixed costs are period costs. Make correct or not? Fixed costs are period costs. Fixed costs are period costs. Any doubts? Next. After that, based on decision making, we are going to classify the expenses as relevant costs, irrelevant cost. Relevant cost and irrelevant cost. Now, we are going to use this term called relevant, irrelevant only at the time of decision making. Only at the time of decision making means I will use this term like, sir, I'm going to ignore fixed cost for my decision making. A reason fixed cost is irrelevant for decision making. Irrelevant for. Now I'm going to ask you the reason why it is irrelevant. Then you will say fixed cost is common in nature. Before accepting this order, I'm incurring fixed cost of 2 lakh rupees. After accepting this order, I'm incurring the same 2 lakh rupees, right? So, based on my decision, this number is not changing. The number which is reacting is always relevant for decision making. The number which is not reacting is irrelevant for decision making. Am I correct or not? If I propose to produce an additional 5,000 units, in such a case, what are the expenses going to change? You are in CMA final. If you want to produce additional 5,000 units, what are the expenses will change? Variable cost. Tell me in a precise way. No need of saying, sir, material. Okay, material, labor, variable overhead. But all these are variable costs, right? And fixed cost, it will remain same. Fixed cost, it will remain same. Now, if you have to calculate the minimum price to be quoted for your customer, I need to consider all the incremental expenses incurred from my pocket. In such a case, the incremental expenses is always only variable expenses. Only fixed expenses will remain same. It is not going to change. Whether you accept this order, fixed cost is same. If you reject this order, fixed cost will remain same, right? In such a case, can I say this fixed cost is irrelevant for my decision making? Why to unnecessarily consider this number in my decision making calculations, right? I'm going to ignore for decision making. I'm going to ignore for decision making. Is it clear? Now, relevant is variable expenses. Irrelevant is fixed expenses. Take an example of production activity. Say for suppose, if you go for some other discussion, already you purchased an asset, 2 years, its life is some 7 years, already used it for 2 years. Now at the end of the 3rd year, you want to replace that machine with some new machine. You are trying to make an analysis for decision making. In such a case, original cost of the machine purchased 2 years back, is it relevant for today's decision? Is it relevant for today's decision? Sir, it is already incurred, sir. So it is irrelevant for decision making, and I will say what is the reason you are ignoring or you are not taking as relevant for decision making means then you have to say the reason as sunk cost. Is it clear? Then what is relevant for today's decision? Sir? Very good. After 2 years, if you try to sell this existing machine, say for suppose, originally you purchased it 5 lakhs. Today, if you sell in the market, you will get 3 lakhs. So this 3 lakhs is relevant for today's decision because this is the outflow or inflow what you are going to have right now. So if I try to sell the machine, 3 lakhs is going to be the inflow. So this number is relevant for decision making. The number which is already incurred is always irrelevant for decision making. Reason it is sunk cost. Now why this 3 lakhs is relevant means because this is the amount what I am going to get, right? So this is relevant, that is irrelevant. Clear? And for this relevant and irrelevant, we have a chapter, relevant cost analysis. Clear? Right. After decision making based on functions, in an organization we have various departments, right? Name some departments. Sales department, selling and distribution department, the purchase department, sales department, production department. Next, administration department, marketing department. Still we have so many departments: R&D department, HR department, personal department. Maybe in our costing books we will have personal department or HR department. So why these departments are classified? I mean, based on what criteria these departments are classified? Based on functions. Here, purchase department, what is their function? They will purchase the material, right? They will purchase the material. So purchase department. Sales department, they will undergo sales. Production department, they will undergo production. Administration, marketing. So based on the functions, departments are classified. Now, if some expense happen in purchase department, I will call it as purchase cost. And production department, you have some expense incurred in production department, I will call it as production cost or manufacturing cost, works cost, factory cost, right? Here it is administration cost. Mainly we will use, instead of cost, we will use overhead. Am I correct or not? Remaining departments, say for suppose, initially we will have direct and indirect. But once after completion of manufacturing, starting from factory, administration, everywhere, you will have only indirect expenses. So for indirect expenses, you should use that word overhead. So factory overhead, administration overhead, selling and distribution overhead. I think you are not going to see administration cost. Maybe sometimes administrative expenses, selling expenses. You can use selling overheads also, administration overhead also, marketing overhead also. So everywhere I'm going to use the department title and I'm going to add this word cost, right? So based on function, we are classifying the expenses into manufacturing expense or manufacturing overhead, administration overhead, selling overhead, distribution overhead. Is it clear? Right? Okay. Now, starting from yesterday's discussion, we started like based on time. Based on time, costs are classified into historical cost, predetermined cost, current cost. Based on element, material, labor, or it. Based on nature or behavior, variable cost, fixed cost, semi-variable cost. Based on relationship, based on normality, based on controllability, based on decision making, based on attributability, product cost, period cost. Another question. Those are techniques, sir. Based on decision making, based on functions, manufacturing overhead or manufacturing cost, administration cost, selling cost, or marketing cost. Clear? Okay. Now, sir, do we have these many types of expenses in our costing? No. Depending upon the situation, I'm going to use the title. Say for suppose, material cost. If this material cost, sir, if this material cost is incurred in the current period, I'm going to call the same material cost as current cost. If this material cost is to be incurred in next year, I will call it as the same material cost as predetermined or budgeted cost. In order to produce 1 unit of production, if I go for additional 1 unit of production, I'm going to incur this material cost. So this is variable in nature. And the same material cost is directly traceable to manufacturing of a product. You can call it as a direct cost also. and the same material cost is incurred in normal course of business in our day-to-day business operations. I can call it as normal cost. And the same material cost is controllable. As it is variable in nature, the same material cost is relevant for decision making. And the same material cost is incurred for manufacturing, and this is known as manufacturing cost. Correct or not? Manufacturing cost. And the same material cost is incurred for attributable to manufacturing of a product. This product cost. So, have you ever come across product cost mentioning in the question? Product cost is equal to so and so number. They will give you material, labor, overheads every time. Am I correct or not? These costs are incurred evenly throughout the year. Fixed costs are period costs. Clear? They give like period cost is equal to so and so. Controllable cost is equal to so and so. Are the terms based on the situation. We are going to use the terms for the respective cost aspect. Is it clear? Right. Now, coming to the cost sheet part. Just tell me, we are going to revise that cost sheet. Or else we'll go with some basic definition. That define opportunity cost. Opportunity cost. Is the value of sacrifice made, right? But this is an economical meaning. So we are going to use in our economic subject. But coming to our costing, when you have two alternatives, you are selecting one alternative because it is the best. It's because of selecting this alternative, you are losing the opportunity of earning that income or benefit from the other alternative. You are missing that because of selecting this particular alternative one. You are missing that second one. If it is not there, that is also best, right? Am I correct or not? So it's because of selecting this decision, you are losing the opportunity of earning income or benefit from the second one. So that will be considered as opportunity cost for decision making. The opportunity cost is only for the purely for the sake of decision making. Never we are going to use in our accounting subject. We are not going to pass any entries for opportunity cost, right? You will see this opportunity cost, notional items. This kind of discussion is restricted only to costing, right? Am I correct or not? Now, so simply to say, opportunity cost means is the benefit foregone from the next best alternative because of selecting a specific option. Because of selecting a specific option means, say for suppose, you have some commercial space. You have some commercial space and you let it for gave it for rent and you are earning a rent of 1 lakh rupee. You are earning this rental income from the past 1 year, and now you have a business idea. You want to start your own business. You need a commercial space. So as this is your own property, you ask them to vacate and you occupy it and you start your own business. And after starting your own business, you will have your receipts, right? Maybe some consultancy firm. You started some consultancy firm. You will have your own receipts. From that receipts, from that receipts minus expenses, so on, you got 2 lakh rupees profit. 2 lakh rupees profit. If it is accounts, if you are giving for rental, you will pass entry for rental income. If you are doing your own business, you will pass entry for this 2 lakh rupees. Is it clear? But when it comes to costing, sir, for earning this 2 lakh rupees income, you are losing the opportunity of earning this 1 lakh rupee. Now this 1 lakh rupee is opportunity cost. Opportunity. So additionally you are getting, and people will call this one as incremental benefit or incremental profit. Incremental means normally decision can be done in two ways. If you consider this one as alternative 1, this one as alternative 2, which one you will select means people will compare directly 1 lakh and 2 lakh and they will say, sir, as 2 lakhs is more, I will go for alternative 2. I will go for alternative 2. See, this is one way of expressing your decision. As second alternative has more profit, I am going to select alternative 2. Second one, incremental approach. Incremental approach. 2 lakhs minus 1 lakh, as the firm is earning an incremental profit of 1 lakh, additional profit of 1 lakh, it is better to go for alternative 2. Is it clear? Direct comparison or subtracting and finding out incremental benefit. In either of the way, you can calculate and can make a decision. Is it clear? Right? Okay. Say for suppose, after qualifying your CMA, you cleared your CMA final. After that, you went to campus placements. There you cracked 3 interviews and you got 3 offers from the respective companies. PwC, Deloitte, some ITC. Now from PwC, they are offering 80,000. Which one you will select? Which one you will select? Okay, good. See, always in costing and financial management, when you are making financial evaluation, only numbers will. This is salary. So obviously among the 3 numbers, you need to select the highest number. So 1 lakh. Now, say for suppose, you are in a dilemma out of these 3, which one is to select? You are making an analysis. At this point, you got offer from one more company, E&Y, and you attend for the interview. You cracked all the stages of interview, and finally, you are before HR for discussing about financial, commercial. Now, HR team, they offered you 90K. Now tell me, how you are going to negotiate? What is your first discussion? Tell me. Quite simple. Quite simple. Sir, already I had an offer of 1 lakh rupee. Am I correct or not? Why didn't you say about 90K? Why didn't you say about 80K? Sir, already I had an offer of 80K. Okay, I'm giving you 10K more. Right? So among the 3, you are going to pick up this highest one and you will start the negotiation. Already I had an offer of 1 lakh from ITC. So anything equal to 1 lakh or more than 1 lakh is acceptable. Is it clear? This is how you are going to negotiate, right? So this is basic common sense, sir. This is not costing. Clear? That is how you are going to start. Negotiation is always comparison. And someone is saying when you're trying to purchase a flat, and someone is saying like, oh, 1 square yard, this is the price. You are going to compare with the market price in that area, right? Right? Then you will say you are saying too high. Actually, the price is like 5,000. You are saying like 5,200 or 5,500. Is it clear? Right. So this is how you are going to negotiate. And remember, our analysis coming out of our costing and financial management subject is different, and our analysis in books is different. Always in costing and financial management, we'll make an analysis only by looking at the numbers. If it is outflow, I will select an option with the least number. If it is inflow, I will select an option where it is maximum. Am I correct or not? But in reality, it depends upon various scenarios. Say for suppose, previously you told me, sir, I'm going to select ITC 1 lakh. But this ITC is in Bangalore. You are in Hyderabad. Your parents stays in Hyderabad. And Deloitte company is only 2 kilometers. 2 kilometers? 2 kilometers from your home. You can stay with your parents, you can have home food. Am I correct or not? No rental expense, nothing. In such a case, what is your decision? For the traditional 10,000, why to go to Bangalore? I will stay in Hyderabad. In reality, you might slightly deviate from our costing and financial management aspects. Am I correct or not? On the other side, ITC is giving 1 lakh, Deloitte 90K, but this Deloitte 90K is offering for something like some auditing, whereas I am interested in taxation. I am interested in taxation, and this Deloitte is very near to my home. But this PwC is giving taxation, and it is 10 kilometers away from my home. Looking at the requirement of profile, what I am looking right, taxation, I will go for PwC even though the payment is less, the distance is more, but I am interested in taxation, which is available at PwC. Am I correct or not? Reality depends upon various aspects. They mention all these points in the question, you have to consider. But they will mention only numbers. They will mention only numbers. So we are going to make evaluation only through numbers. Financial evaluation. Just make a judgment looking at the numbers. If it is feasible, accept. If it is positive, accept. If it is negative, reject. Is it clear? Right? Okay. We'll continue next class.